Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today we're going to start a little series about hot spots. And we're going to today look at general information, and then next time we'll talk about some systemic issues that may be going on with your dog, and then we'll look at some topical treatments, and then finally we'll wrap it up with some T-touches you can do to help your dog with hot spots. And it might take a few days to get to all of that because I'm at my educator job tomorrow and I'm leaving for the beach on Saturday morning. So it might be Sunday or Monday before we get through all of the things I have to say about hot spots. So what is a hot spot? These are distinct from lick granulomas, where you have a big red spot on your dog's front leg from him licking and licking and licking. Hot spots are red, itchy skin that is often started by something like a flea bite, and your dog just keeps digging there, and it's very irritated, and it becomes a big red hot spot. There's a ton of heat in the area, and certainly treating it with ice massage, which is just rubbing ice on the area, is not the worst thing because it's very cooling. But it is an excess of heat in terms of Chinese medicine, and there are many reasons that you get a hot spot on your dog. The most common is flea bites, and for a lot of people, they might not even know their dog has fleas until they notice them itching and itching and itching. Fleas are in the environment. They are super attracted to cats. If you have cats, your dog will probably get fleas. Even if your cats don't go outside. Fleas can live in the floorboards of a house, under carpet and furniture for a very long time, months, years. So it's very important that you notice a hot spot on your dog because that's a sign there's fleas, and that could be a bigger issue to cope with. Even another kind of bug bite, like a no-see-um bite or a black fly or a mosquito or any of the little flying biting things that bite your dog can turn into a hot spot. And in some cases I've even seen like a bee sting turn into a hot spot. Food sensitivities can also create hot spots. I have a dog client now who is just got such an excess of heat in her system, and she's a hot dog, and her whole bottom half is a big red hot spot, really. And in her case, it's not so itchy, but it's just so irritated and yeasty and stinky. So food sensitivities can be a big thing. So you want to address the food that you're giving your dog if you find a lot of hot spots. Just the general heat of the summer can cause hot spots. Certainly with this weather that we've been having, with it being 90 degrees and 90% humidity, a lot of dogs will get hot spots, especially those with thick coats, like a collie. Another issue that can create hot spots is our toxins in the environment. Things in the environment that your dog is allergic to can also create these areas of excess heat. For instance, dryer sheets, chemicals in your house, off-gassing from the sofa, the rugs, the other furniture in your house, maybe your floor cleaner. There was a time when some of the chemicals in Swiffer were super toxic to dogs, so your floor cleaner is something you need to really look at closely if you have dogs or cats. And another issue that can also cause hot spots, which I have a lot of experience with, is going in the ocean or a lake or even your dog's swimming pool and not getting, or even going for hydrotherapy, water therapy with your dog, walking on an underwater treadmill. That dog needs to be dry as a bone when he gets off of that treadmill or out of that pool or lake or ocean, because any place where they have thick fur, which in my case is this front poof of the Corgi, under the armpits, and even in the fuzz buns. One of my first Corgis had hot spots in his fuzz buns, which was terrible. And it was all, in my cases, caused from wet spots on my dog that I did not fully dry, or that because of the heat and humidity did not dry on their own. So you may have to blow dry your dog. Of course, use a cool setting, not hot, and just kind of get those areas dry. Dry them as best you can with a towel, of course, first. And now you have these microfiber towels that really pull moisture out, in theory. So any kind of moisture buildup on your dog can also cause a hot spot. And in fact, some lick granulomas, which are kind of similar in some ways, can be caused by the constant moistness on the dog's face or whiskers if you've got a whiskery dog, and then the dog laying with his chin on his paw, and of course there's bacteria and food in there, and suddenly we've got a good thing to lick on our paw, and we get a lick granuloma, or a hot spot in some cases. But hot spots are really more itchy, and granulomas are more troublesome in other ways. So some of the causes of this can be, aside from the things I've just talked about, the bug bites, food sensitivities, allergies, environmental problems, heat and moisture. You can also get them from liver imbalances and any kind of immune problem going on with your dog, or injury and instability, problems in the spine. A lot of my dogs got hot spots from here back in the years before they had DM, degenerative myelopathy, and Corgis, which is a paralysis from the back end to the front. So really, hot spots are damp, and it creates heat and inflammation in the skin. And they are usually a result of too much body heat, which is why we're talking about it now, because there has been so much excess heat in the environment lately with these hot spells we're having, 90-degree heat, 110-degree heat in Southern California and Arizona. So your dog will also develop hot spots due to just the weather. So a couple of the things you need to know is where the hot spots commonly occur. And I've had this once on the side of the face right here. Again, that's an area that's really thickly fuzzed, and if I didn't dry my dog or clean him when he came out of the ocean right in this area, you can get him on the side of the face, on the neck, especially in the poof, on the chest, anywhere on the hind end, and at the base of the tail is another area for hot spots. That area is itchy anyway, and it's a favorite spot of fleas. The other place fleas go is under here. Especially if you have an intact male, that's a particularly tasty area for fleas because the skin is thinner and they can get a good bite. So these are areas to check for hot spots on your dog. And often if you go to the vet, they'll tell you that it's an allergic reaction or that it's flea bites. Most often it's flea bites, and again, in my case, most often it's come from moisture on the dog that is not dried. And of course, chronic stress in your dog, anything that is creating debilitation, a decrease in general vitality, a decrease in immune function, any kind of losing energy in your dog. And my dogs with DM, they were also old, so that creates a problem. And also in athletic dogs, that imbalance in the spine or any kind of injury to the spine or neck can also create a hot spot. So, tension in the body can also create hot spots. And there's lots of different ways to treat them, and we will go over that over the next few days, ranging from boosting the immune system, which of course you start with the gut. The gut's one of the most important parts of the immune system. The lymphatic system is also an important part of the immune system. So I'll also show you some T-touches you can do to stimulate the lymphatic system that can help your dog if he has hot spots. And there's certainly certain breeds that are more prone to hot spots than others. But I have seen these, you think it's going to be in like a big fluffy dog, like a fluffy Corgi or a Collie or a Sheltie. Most of the dogs I see commonly with hot spots are more like the rough coat terrier types, rough coat dachshunds. Something about that wiry hair, and even though these dogs are like the rough coat terriers, the Jack Russells, they're not that hairy, but something about that hair seems to hold in hot spots. And these tend to be breeds that are have an excess of hot energy anyway, so it just builds up. So tomorrow and the next day we'll look at some common treatments for hot spots and what you can do to prevent them in the future. But that's a quick look at what hot spots are, and if you have them in your dog or you've ever gotten them before. Thank you, Wendy. I hope this series of talks about hot spots will be useful to you. There's so much information on them, and certainly it's a chronic problem for a lot of people with dogs in the summer. And luckily, with this dog, have we ever had a hot spot? I don't think he's ever had a hot spot. And he's a hot dog. Probably he hasn't had a hot spot because I've been able to feed him turkey, not chicken, for most of his life, and that's helped him. So today we have a busy day. I am off to teach yoga at the Soldiers Home for the veterans on the dementia unit, and then I come back. I have a few clients in the afternoon. I'm excited because I'm wearing my new tropical Corgi shirt. There are Corgis on this shirt. which I had quite a struggle to find. I had to drive a lot of hours out of my way to get one at Hot Topics that fit me, but they're still out there. So can't have too many Corgi shirts, that's what I say. So we will be back tomorrow or Thursday. Hopefully we'll be on our regular time of around 9:30. I just have so much going on when I come back from these trips. I can't get caught up. Bisky. Everybody stay cool in this weather. Keep your dogs cool. And if you do put them in the doggy swimming pool, make sure they're dry. Thanks, Carol. She says, everybody have a fabulous day. And I agree. Everybody have a hot topic shirt. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.